Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Thursday evening episode of Ted's Booze with me, your most gracious host Ted. It's currently 18 minutes past 8 on the 2nd of November 2023, and I hope I'm finding you all in a good state of affairs. Welcome to the first episode of the autumnal month. Now, I'm going to be taking a look at a stout for the first time in a little while, and I'm also going to be taking a look at, in an even longer amount of time, the first beer from Northern Monk in a while. So Northern Monk, I found they did something that really tickled my attention, so to speak. They've got this Choc Ice Stout here. Now, for anyone who didn't grow up in the UK, Choc Ice basically just means a block of like ice cream covered in thin, usually milk or dark chocolate. They're quite popular in the UK. You can buy them pretty cheaply in supermarkets. Usually you'll get them in like a pack of 6, 10 or 12 for like, you know, anywhere between only like £1, like £2.50 or something like that. They're a very cheap, sort of cheap and cheerful alternative to going out and getting 99 flakes from the local ice cream van. And it's kind of a meme where it's like you ask your mum for like £2 to go to the ice cream van and they say, no, we've got ice cream at home, and then you'd get a Choc Ice. But to be honest with you, I didn't mind Choc Ices growing up. I thought they were actually quite enjoyable. So, especially the Sainsbury's dark chocolate ones they used to do, those were really good. And we've got here this Northern Monk Choc Ice Stout, which I did get from Sainsbury's, and from Sainsbury's it was £3 for this 440ml can, which for a craft beer isn't too bad. I think the price and the size of the can correlating against each other there is all right. It could be maybe a tiny bit cheaper, but I think that's a decent price for a strong craft stout. So actually, scratch that. It's not too strong. It's only 4.5%, so yeah, I was talking out my backside there, so to speak. But I do really like the design of the can here. It's really sort of, it's kind of bright and sort of like interesting, while also being very like cool and autumnally wintry. It's like, it's just got a nice look to it. I really like this, yeah. It's a very handsome looking can. I'll give that a solid 10 out of 10. I would recognise that and I'd think, oh yeah, that's that chocolate beer by Northern Monk. So yeah, I really like the design of this can. I don't know what it is. It's really simple, but it's just really refreshing and nice to look at. So yeah, good 10 out of 10. Very respectable. Now, I think the last time I actually reviewed a Northern Monk drink was, let me see, yeah, it was the 1st of April 2023. It was when I reviewed their Rocket Lolly IPA. So yeah, similarly enough, another beer that was based off of a very popular British frozen treat from our friends at Northern Monk up in Leeds. Oh god, that's a good nose. A little bit of a sort of vanilla-y, sort of like bitter after smell there. And it's kind of set up by this sort of like slightly creamy but very like mellow and sort of not oaky but sort of very I guess the word I'm trying to think of is understated, chocolatey cocoa sort of dark flavour there that sort of like precedes the vanilla-iness at the end. It's a nice nose though, very simple, very welcoming, and yeah, good flavours that you'd kind of expect to have around this time of year anyway. But I think there's just something about it. There's a weird sort of thing with the nose of quite a few craft stouts out there that I'm not sure about sometimes, and I don't know. I just like the main body of the nose doesn't have quite the body that I'd expect, so it's not a bad smell, but it's just something missing there. So I'll give it a good 8 out of 10 at least. Anyways, let's have a quick pour and see what it looks like in the old Harvey's Brewery glass. Actually, I wonder if Northern Monk do their own glasses. I'll have to see, and if I do find some, I'll try putting them in the video description down below, because they could be quite nice, considering that Northern Monk always design their cans quite nicely anyway. Yeah. Good colour, very dark, deep, rich brown there. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, nose is a lot nicer in the glass actually. The cocoa is a lot more prominent, so I'll give it like a 8.5 in the glass. But I will say, in comparison to some other sort of craft stouts where they're too bubbly and sort of like the head just almost goes away, almost straight away after you've poured it, the head here is staying after for quite a while, and it seems pretty stable and of decent quality. So that's good, promising. Yeah, that's very, very promising. before you see what this sucker tastes like, quick palate cleanser. And then on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So, try everyone at home, bottoms up, and I hope you have a great weekend ahead. Cheers. Nice. Texture could be a little bit creamier to sort of kind of complement that chocolate flavour and the bitter vanilla aftertaste a bit more. And the main body of the flavour just could be a bit more expressive and a bit more full in of itself. But generally, no, it's alright. It's actually pretty good. I'm not super disappointed. I just wish it was a little bit better. I just wish it was a bit more full in character and flavour, particularly in the main body of it. But generally, it's actually alright. Like, compared to a lot of craft stouts I've had in the past, which have been somewhat inconsistent, I think, yeah, this ranks pretty reasonably well, with a decent amount of respect. Yeah. I mean, the main thing that it does well is that it is very palatable. It's easy to go down, it's very drinkable, it's easy to digest, it's very, very simple, and it's a kind of a strength of Guinness that it's so easily drinkable and compulsively digestible that I think so many stouts and porters out there try to be like it as much as they can. When really I feel like, even though being like Guinness is a safe bet, because Guinness, you know, realistically probably is the world's best and most widely regarded stout, at the same time I still welcome it when craft stouts do kind of try to express themselves and be a bit weird and out there. But the downside of that is there's a sort of much more narrow margin of success and failure, so it's a very risky line to cross. But I'm glad to say this is actually quite a good one. This is a good craft stout. I really like this. And to be fair, Northern Monk, well, you know, they've had some underwhelming beers in the past. They've never been outright bad as far as I can remember. You know, they've had some ones that I was a bit underwhelmed by, but nothing awful, for sure. And yeah, this is actually pretty good. I just wish the main flavour of the body was a bit more fuller, and I just wish there was a bit more of that vanilla-y aftertaste. But with that being said, I'm not too unhappy with the price that I paid for this. And generally speaking, it is nice. Like, if you want an entry-level point into, like, chocolatey craft stouts, then yeah, this is probably a good entry point, actually. It's quite nice. It's reasonably priced, I think, for the strength, flavour and size of the can that you're getting. It could be maybe slightly cheaper. The main body of the flavour could be slightly fuller. And the aftertaste could be a little bit more, again, fuller. Just, it could be a bit more prominent, really. But generally speaking, the sort of slightly weaker flavour than I was expecting and the lack of a properly creamy texture doesn't belay this too much. I think it's still well worth a respectable, I don't know, I say it's kind of teetering between a 6.75 and a 7 out of 10. And I don't mean that with any disrespect. It meets that mark very respectably. I think this is a good beer. Yeah, really nice. It just could be a little bit more full of flavour and a little bit, you know, tweaked, but generally speaking, really good. But yeah, I mean, unless you guys disagreed with or agreed with my opinion in any particular way, be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section down below, as well as any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, share and subscribe. And if you want to check out any of my other stuff, I'll leave the links to all that in the video description down below. But until next time, have fun, stay safe for whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye-bye for now.